a legend has retired. No, scratch that. The legend has retired, and that is Alex Morgan.
And I mean, tears, laughter, her very last soccer game, professional soccer game ever. And that's it. After all these years, it's over.
Unless she decides to come back. That's still a possibility. So surreal that was her last game, and it was like...
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what we're going to talk about in this video. That is it. Hopefully this video goes out pretty soon after the game. We just got done watching the game. It's 9:43 for us where we live, but hopefully this video goes out tonight or in the morning. But yeah, we just got done watching it. It's almost surreal. She is the face of soccer. She has been the face of soccer the last 15 years. It's been Alex Morgan. Yeah, some people might argue it's Megan or Pinoe or Carly Lloyd or whomever, but it's really Alex Morgan. I mean, she is the face. So, and it was a wild night, a lot of emotions out there. So that's what we're going to talk about, last game, she came out, like she said in her speech at the end of the game, most people only had 3 days to know that it was going to be Alex Morgan's last game. She hit everyone with she was retiring and she's pregnant, and sold out crowd, so many people there. I think I read that and then in the day she announced, 12,000 tickets were sold that day. So everyone was excited to come see her and be part of history watching her retirement. Unfortunately, it wasn't a great game for the San Diego Wave. And I mean, at the end of the day, that was, yes, it was almost secondary to her retiring, but you want to go out with a bang, you know what I mean?
Of course.
The final score ended up being 4-1 North Carolina Courage, and it was kind of a wild game, but it's almost fitting. I was thinking about this, that Megan Rapinoe's last game ever was a wild game, like a wild game. She tore her Achilles. It was the championship. Also, it was also at Snapdragon Stadium, which was her last game, and it was also Alex Morgan's last game. So I thought that was a little bit interesting.
Could you say that's bad luck for whoever's retiring to play there?
Yeah. Well, okay, I wasn't going to mention this till the end, but that field, it looked horrible. It's upsetting to see, knowing it's such an important game and it's going to be on every broadcast. Actually, that was the other story. First time ever. One game has been simulcast on like 5 networks. It was on ESPN2. It was on NWSL Plus, it was on Prime Video, it was on Paramount Plus, I think. It was everywhere, and that was the first time that has ever happened. And A, for Alex Morgan, it was such a big event. But B, the field did look pretty bad. I read this here that
watching the North Carolina Courage play the San Diego Wave at the stadium, San Diego State played football just 24 hours ago, and the field is what you'd expect. Bad. A shame considering this is Alex Morgan's last pro game. And then someone else says, at NWSL, I hope you're appalled by the field in San Diego.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up at the end because that is kind of a downer of the story, but it's hard. It's kind of hard to see. Obviously they only had 3 days, and they always knew that this game was going to be played a day after San Diego State did play their game. But it just shows the inequities of, the sports between the men and women. And, it was upsetting to see, but it didn't bring anyone's excitement down. I will say that. Charlie was there. She came out, walked out with Alex Morgan. She was her mascot, walked out. They had a little, celebration before the game, also after the game. But yeah, the field looked a little wild. And did you notice all the San Diego Wave girls were wearing their pink headbands, and they looked so cute? Everyone on the field looked like Alex Morgan tonight. It was hard to keep track.
I know. I'm like, I thought she left the game. I thought she was there. She is. But yeah, no, there's only one Alex Morgan, but a lot of pink head wraps.
Yeah. So she made that famous, and that's another thing that I'm still surprised of. You see so many little girls looking up to Alex Morgan still, even though they're just 5 now, 6 now. That was still the case 15 years ago. They're 5 then. Every year she just gains more and more fans. You might think, at a certain age, your fans grow up and then your fans become older. But a lot of these athletes and these soccer players, their fans just are always, every year they have a new fan. So it's not like a singer where your fans get older a lot of times. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. All these young girls and boys are still her fan, 5, 6, 7 years old. And that's really cute to see.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, she's had a huge impact on the game.
Unfortunately, it didn't. Gosh, this would have been the greatest send off if she would have scored a goal in her last game. I think they were trying to get her the ball, but unfortunately a missed PK, which isn't a big deal. I mean, it's not a big deal. She went up there. North Carolina had a handball, and I'm thinking this is it. She's going to score in her last game.
It would have been her first goal of the season, but it wasn't meant to be. Casey Murphy did save the PK, so Alex Morgan did not score. But that kind of sucked, but that's the way the game goes. And then you could see her kind of smiling because, like, at that point, what can you do than just laugh, like, you know?
Yeah. What do you do? Nothing you can do once you miss. But the good thing was, I will say, after she missed her PK, I think that was like in the 7th or 8th minute. Well, first of all, North Carolina did get off to a great start with a goal in the 4th minute. We didn't say that, but they had a goal, so San Diego could have equalized. That didn't happen, but in the 13th minute, San Diego did score, which was a very special minute of the game because not only did they score, but
that's the minute that Alex was subbed out, which is very fitting because that's her number, 13. Also, was that goal planned? Because 13 minutes, I mean, spot on. That's a weird coincidence.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, that was almost meant to be. Hey, she missed the PK, or the PK was saved, but they scored on the 13th minute. I'm sure it was always planned that she was going to come out on the 13th minute, and she had, great applause celebration. She left her boots on the field. 13th minute, very emotional, and that was it. I mean, that wasn't the game, but the last time we will ever see Alex Morgan play in a professional soccer game. Very emotional, and she was there. Her whole family was there. Charlie was there, her husband, but very emotional, and what Alex has meant to so many people for so long. We're going to talk a little bit more about Alex in a second, but the game was kind of wild, actually. North Carolina Courage scored 3 goals in the first half. In the second half, there was a red card, and that went to the goalie, Kailen Shariden. And it almost reminded me again of the NWSL championship last year where the goalie got a red card. Yeah. So Kailen Shariden, who was also one of Alex Morgan's best friends on the team. So she got a red, had to come out. Luckily, they didn't have to throw a field player in the goalie. They could just throw their backup goalie and kind of switch around the formation. But that was kind of hard to see, Such an important game kind of ending, with a red card, and then they ultimately lost. But
well, it was definitely a memorable game. Yeah. That's for sure. I mean, anytime a goalkeeper gets a red card, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that meant Kailen had to go back to the back to watch the rest of the game on the I think they're allowed to watch the game on the monitors. I mean, what if they're not allowed to watch it? I hope they're allowed to watch it. But Kailen at the end got to come back on the field. But unfortunately, in the 90th plus 4th minute, North Carolina scored again, making the final score 4-1. They did a check for that in the VAR, but then it was ruled a goal. They thought maybe Meredith Speck was offside. She wasn't. But that was the goal. That was the end of the game, 4-1. Hey, if they're going to score, at least score in the 13th minute for Alex Morgan, But after the game, obviously, she had a few words on the field, very emotional. I was telling Sarah's not a crier. I'm a crier. I would be like bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, it was definitely emotional but exciting to see.
But she's had, such an incredible career. She played for the WPS, which is the iteration of professional women's soccer before it was the NWSL. She played for so many teams. She won the championship, the NWSL championship. I think they said she won the WPS championship. She won the Shield last year with San Diego, and then she won the Challenge Cup this year. Was it this year or last year? I think this year she won the Challenge Cup, along with she won international, her international trophies like the World Cup, like an Olympic gold medal, like an Olympic bronze medal. And I didn't know this. Apparently she won the year she went to Lyon. They won the Champions League that year. So her name's on the trophy, or however they do it there. I didn't realize that. But just crazy. I mean, she is one of those names in sports. She's one of those names, we've talked about this before. If you know no other women's soccer player name, you know Alex Morgan. Even like Megan Rapinoe. You would think most people know Megan Rapinoe. Some people do, but you know Alex Morgan. Like that's the one name you know. Everyone knows. Legend. It's just crazy. We will no longer see her. And it will be crazy that day when no players who played for the WSL are going to be in the NWSL anymore. You know, when those players move on. Yeah. And it's slowly happening. And so crazy to see. They had so many awards. And I don't know if they're going to have some type of like celebration for her at a national team game too. I don't know if anything like that has been announced or anything. I think if it works out, it works out. But I wonder if they're going to have anything like that for Alex at the next home game for the national team. Because again, if that is planned, if there's another kind of celebration, that will be exciting to see. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I'm probably, who knows if that will happen, but obviously she wouldn't play or anything, but maybe they would honor her in some way. I'm not even quite sure if they've ever done it like that before for anyone else, but if you're going to do it for someone, maybe for Alex.
Yeah, she has a very decorated career, iconic, legendary, amazing. Now she's going to have 2 kids soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think she ever said necessarily when she's due. But excited for her. It's exciting that Charlie's probably going to have a lot of these memories still. She's very young, but you usually have memories when you're 3 and 4, What does everyone think? I saw this one comment left on our last video I thought was very sweet.
Alex's impact was and still is huge. It sent ripple effects to the younger generation to fight for women's sports. And of course, she played with the greats when she started out on the national team. Baby Horse, the pink headband, scoring quick and fantastic goals. The U.S. women's national team cannot let her go without any type of celebration, please. Agreed.
Yeah, and that's a good point. So hopefully the U.S. women's national team does something. Who knows? Maybe. Yeah, I saw the signs there at Snapdragon. It said, what was some of the cute signs? It said, Captain Morgan. They had like a Captain Morgan sign. Emotional goodbye. What was the other? Oh, a Baby Horse sign. That name has kind of been retired a bit, the Baby Horse sign, but she's definitely Baby Horse. And then some other great signs, but so excited. I mean, like I said, whirlwind for her. She's pregnant, so obviously you can't play for too long, and but sometimes it's nice to not have it drawn out. I feel like when Megan Rapinoe retired, it was months and months and months, and I was almost like, it's almost like you're anticipating it so much that it almost is. It's kind of nice when it's short and sweet in a way. You only have 3 days to prepare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Questions, comments down below. Are you a fan are you one of those fans who followed her career all the way from college until now? Are you someone who just has always known her? Are you someone like just a fan of what she does? Her goals have always been, she has finesse out there. She always found a way to score when the team needed her, and it was always exciting to see. And the course of life, you retire, it sucks, but no one will ever forget her name. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.